Alright, I should be live. Everything that I was going to put out, I should have already put out. I'm not doing my double stage lights today. Not that it'll matter too much, but I'm not. Now that I think about it, I probably should have fixed this before I did this, but it won't be a big deal. There, fixed it. Okay, cool. Let me figure out this. This is set here. Set this to live, so we got the live going. And we also need to do the same with this. Change this from top chat to live chat. There, that's going. And we're live. Okay, yeah, we're early, but there is actually a reason for it. I work tomorrow, so since I'm forced, I went ahead and I started it an hour early like I did before. And so we'll see what we can get through, what we can talk about, what we can do. And today, we are not headed over to Big Bad. We are actually going to hop over to Entertainment. Just for changing it up. I thought about a couple of other things too, but for right now, we're just going to start Entertainment Earth. And we're going to head over there and we're going to check some things out. So, this is our beginning palette right here. Let's go across the top and see if anything grabs my attention. This we're going to talk about. This we're going to talk about. Barbie signature looks. Yeah, I don't know anything about Barbie, to be fair, but I have noticed that the looks have changed quite a bit since I was a kid. Like, there's a lot of different styles now. Oh, that we're going to talk about for a little bit. I already talked about that. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so that... Will that be enough to get us started? I think it's more than enough to get us started, actually. We do want to talk about this. We do want to talk about this. I do actually want to talk about that. Okay. That'll set us on the road, basically. It'll get us started, get us looking at stuff, get us talking about stuff. So, let me double check, make sure that nobody, because if we are, okay, nope, so far nobody's in the chat, nobody's talking, that's fine. So we are going to start here, like I said, and oh, okay. So let's make this the first topic of the night. Two topics, actually, two that I'm somewhat interested in talking about that, because I want this guy right here to be a topic that I want to talk about, and I want this right here to be a topic that we're going to talk about, and I want this right here to be a topic that we're going to talk about. Also, She-Hulk is something that we need to mention. That's enough. That's enough for these. So look, let's start here, okay? The first thing I would like to say, and before I guess we even get into this, I noticed a couple people actually did show up. Oz is actually here. Hey, what's up? What's going on? That's fine. Some people, they just kind of hang out. And a lot of this gets caught in like the next day and whatnot. Because I noticed that if I do like 30, 40 on the night or even 70 the night, it usually hits somewhere around 135 to 200. So yeah. This Spider-Man, I wanted to mention something about this. I see it. Is there something in my head that lies to me about this Spider-Man? Wasn't there a version where that was like reversed? Where the black was the white and the white was the black? Am I imagining that was a thing? Because, like, ever since I saw this Spider-Man, I said, oh, Future Foundation. And then I looked at it a little closer, and I was like, but it's like the colors are swapped. Is that my imagination? Like, I admit that I don't know everything 100%. No, I'm not talking about anti-venom. That's a different thing altogether. And what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? No, I'm telling you. In fact, just because that's the nature of the show, we're gonna I'm gonna look for it real quick. So look, there, right there, bam. Yeah, I knew I was okay. So look, I just went to Future Foundation Spider-Man, and we're just gonna do this real quick. Let me pull this down, and I can show you also what I was talking about. See, I knew that when I read the books, and also the Spider-Man game, to be fair, did this as well. But I knew that I remembered something about this. Why when we did the toy? Because that's even right there. Look at that. That's literally that's the comics right there. That was the Future Foundation team. That was when they moved away. They weren't the Fantastic Four technically. They were Future Foundation. And Spider-Man was in the team, and I remember he could like alter the colors, like that suit would allow him to like go back to the classic or go straight black or like the green black. But like this is what I remember. So it just kind of blew my mind that when they did the figure, how come we didn't get that color scheme? Or was it because we'd already gotten the color scheme before? No, because that was like Marvel Universe. Did we get a Marvel Legends like this? It's possible that we did. And I just never stopped to think about it. But that was the first thing that I wanted to like kind of talk about mildly when we got started today, because I knew that I remembered that. And I've kind of driven myself crazy being like, why is the Spider-Man not the one that I remember? And that's exactly, yeah, so he's right, yeah. No, you Future Foundation, that's exactly what we were talking about. I don't know. And yeah, the one that you get, but see, that's exactly what I'm getting at. This claims to be the Future Foundation costume. Marvel Legends, Future Foundation, Spider-Man stealth suit. Is that when he turned it black? He was able to alter the colors, like in real time. It was, I can't remember what kind of tech it was, but he could do that. He could just go back to the original suit, or he could be blue, or he could be like black and green, or he could be like all black, and he could do that. I don't know. This is just one of those Spider-Men that, like, when it came out, it bothered me a little bit. I was like, something's wrong. Like, this isn't the one that I want. And then it's that whole, I get it. It's the whole thing that we always come down to where we're like, that's not the one that I want, so it's wrong. That's not my complaint here. This is a solid Spider-Man. Hooray to anybody that bought it. But it is actually the reason I passed on it is because I wanted the invert. I wanted the regular Future Foundation costume. And I don't think the rest of the Future Foundation guys have even been done. At least not that I've witnessed. I haven't seen Future Foundation Fantastic Four members. That would be a cool pack. That would be a really cool pack if they just released the Spider-Man and the Spider-Man thing, Sue and Mr. Fantastic. This is one that I do want. Amazing Fantasy, I want that Spider-Man. I could get it. He's right there. But I'm not going to do it right now. But I do want this one. This is one that's basically like finally being like reissued. In fact, I've seen him in this packaging. And I've seen him in retro cardback. In the retro cardback one, I had the chance to get. And I missed it. I kind of screwed up. And didn't pick it up when I had the chance. And now I don't really see him around. But I do want this. I want this because it would be really cool to have like a first version Spider-Man. I think that would be awesome. Let's see. Hey man, what's going on? Let's see. Is it here? Right. If I remember right, the suit could change colors. I remember him just being able to do it. I have the figure, but it ain't my favorite. would only look good alongside specifics. Right. The Amazing Fantasy looks dope. Love the red and black. I agree. This is like this. The reason I would want this is because this is like Steve Ditko Spider-Man. This is like the first. This is the original appearance, Amazing Fantasy. This is him. This is awesome. And I feel like I'm not the kind of collector that likes like 7 of the exact same guy on my shelf because I only have so much room and I want to get a lot of the stuff that I love up there. But I feel like the first version Spider-Man kind of deserves a spot alongside the other 4 Spider-Man that I have that I've went out of my way to buy. I'm very picky with my Spider-Man, but yeah, I feel like that would be great. So, talking point for that, we did the talking point. I just wanted to bring it up. And now, because we are moving character to character, awesome. I had to click on him because I had to know. I had to know that. Pre-order, I need him. I need to make like a note about him. Because the last time I did one of these, I did this episode, I did the live and we talked, and I talked about what I needed. And then I found what I needed, and it was available for purchase, and I did not buy it. And he's gone now. He's completely gone now. This is the only one of these I didn't get. In terms of the 3, I wanted all 3 Spider-Man with the unmasked head, movie Spider-Man. I wanted them all. This is the only one I did not get. I didn't get First Swing Spider-Man or Last Swing Spider-Man or whatever you want to, Final Swing Spider-Man, or however you want to refer to this Spider-Man. I didn't get him. I did not get Tom Holland unmasked Spider-Man in this version. Now, I've seen that the other suit that's like more mechanical-esque, that suit I saw at a Target, and it was unmasked, and they were like, it was this suit, the one that you see on the card. It was this one here, but I didn't want that one. This is what I want. This is fine, but this is what I wanted. And yeah, I missed it. And by the time that I went looking again, now they're back to this, where they're doing the pre-order for add to carts. And by the way, it has to be said that sometimes you leave a figure behind and you get your second chance. Scarlet's back on the market again. He's very easily obtainable at this point. These guys are coming back up for reissues. But dang it, if I didn't get absolutely screwed when it comes to web store. Like, wow. Just wow with web store. What happened? Like, he is completely off the market. He's sold out everywhere. People are asking $200 for that figure. Like what? It blows me away. And now I'm at this point where I know that the other kind of retail stores that I would go to, if I don't find him at a Target, by luck, if I don't find him at a Walmart, by luck, where he's just kind of been sitting on the shelf and nobody's noticed, I'm kind of screwed. Because if he shows up at something like FYE or something, I'm just not getting him. Because they're going to price him at like $200. Because that's what people, I really detest stores that like feel like retail stores. They don't feel like, like thrift or, comic book-esque or collector stores. And they mark their stuff very blatantly at huge collector price, not retail price. That makes it very hard to shop at those places. I mean, I get it. It is what it is. I didn't get mine when I had the chance. I screwed up. I have a few Spideys, but not one of them is the classic red and blue. Every time they make a new one, it's part of a pack, instantly grabbed. Yeah. No, I get that. I went out of my way. The one that I thought was the best, and I just, like, literally at first glance, I didn't watch reviews or anything. I felt it in my bones. The second they released the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, I was like, that's the one I need. That is my quintessential, perfect, Marvel Legends Spider-Man. I need it on my shelf, and I went out of my way and I bought it. I even paid a little bit of extra for what it would have actually cost, but I don't care. I needed it. Super Arrow, well, that's arguable. That's arguable. Let's see, my son Connor grabbed one at Eternia Dreams because he wanted a normal-looking Spider-Man. No, yeah, he is. He's he's the most normal-looking Spider-Man, I guess, to be fair. It used to go to Andrew Garfield that had that. He had the most normal-looking Spider-Man costume. Recently got a classic Batman and Superman for my shelf. Every time they make a new one, they have a bunch of armor. Right. No, I get it. See, I remember going to FYE and finding a Silver Samurai. Didn't have a price sticker on it, so I assumed it was around $25 to $30 like the others they had. It was over for it. Oh, man. I took a picture and posted it. This was like a year and a half ago, somewhere in there. I went to FYE. FYE. And I found that pack that I just mentioned. I found the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. And I was like, this is it. I'm grabbing it. I picked it up. I was like, I can't believe I found it at retail. Fantastic. So good. Spun it around, and its price tag was $199. And I was like, what? I was like, it's never going to move. And I put it back on the shelf and said, no, you know what? I hope you sit on that inventory until you go out of business. And it just so happens, as crazy as it is, they really did go out of business. And then they literally like sold their entire store at like, I think it was, some of it was ridiculous. It started at like 40%, then went like to 50, then to 60. And they were like, please take stuff out of here. And I remember I went in while the store was still at 50% off, and that Spider-Man was still sitting on their shelf, and I'd already bought mine and was like, you know what? Good. I'm glad you couldn't sell that. I'm glad you couldn't sell that. Listen, profit is important in business. Let's not be stupid fans. Let's be realistic fans and understand that you have to turn a profit in business. And toys is a very hard business to turn profit in. There's very, very, very little profit margin inside of toys, as opposed to they pay for it, they get it in their shop, they put it at MSRP, they sell the product, they sell maybe a $25 figure, they keep about $2 of that. Like, that's their money. It's hard to turn profit on toys. Newer age retail toys. I'm going to keep that where it is. What's up, Thanos? But you could turn a lot of profit on more retro toys, unboxed toys, loose toys, those kind of things. But in terms of packaging, I know a guy that runs a comic shop, and he's very open. He even shows me his books. Like he gets like the Marvel Selects Mr. Fantastic, and he gets it in his store and he prices it, and then he prices it to move so that it will get out. And they're like, and he showed me the books. He's like, after I pay for this, I stock it, I do this, I do that, I make $2 on this guy. And I'm like, it's not even worth having him in your store, in all honesty. And he's like, it's worth it for the one person that's going to buy it that may also go home with a couple comic books or may stay around to play a card game where the money actually is. So I've been around the business side of this long enough to not get blindly ignorant. But when you're FYE and you're pricing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows at $200, you're gouging. You're gouging. Mark your inventory to move. If you can't do that, if you're putting high profit over sustained velocity, moving product, get the product in, set it on the shelf. That's prime real estate. You need it for something else. Price it so it'll move. If it moves, even if you only made $3, $4, $5, but you made enough to guarantee the next set for that area, put them in, move your velocity. That's how video game stores often work, and that's part of the reason why most of them, except for GameStop, stay alive, because they price most of their material to move. And I mean actual video game stores, not guys that are trying to claim to be collector stores and gouge your prices. These are two very different business models. Never saw any of these Spider Boys in stores at all. Well, first off, what's up, Spaded One? Welcome. And second, you're right. These were tough to come across in stores. In my area, they certainly were. I can't speak for everybody. I don't know everything. But I found only one Andrew Garfield at 3 different Targets. I went to 3 different Targets on the regular searching for them. Found one and found 2 Tobey Maguires. I bought the Andrew. I bought the Tobey. This guy never appeared on the shelf even once at any of those 3 Targets. These guys were... Mary Jane is all over the place. And I could still get the Sandman. But these Spider Boys, they were tough to find. The only good deal I've gotten for a figure that I had FYE was Human Torch on the Fantastic Four card, $10. Only time I'll buy a figure from them. They gouge, man. They gouge hard. There's a reason that those stores are closing all over at different malls. They do not price velocity. They don't price to move items. They price to make mad money. And it bites them in the ass, and that's why they're starting to lose stores. Thoughts on YouTubers finding a bunch of Marvel Legends and Star Wars figures at Ollie's and falsely claiming that the toys don't sell? I'm not 100% what you... I'm going to be honest. I don't know exactly what you mean here. There's a reason. Since we are talking, I'm going to pull up and talk for a minute. Oh my... So, look... let me get this. Thoughts on YouTubers finding a bunch of Marvel Legends and Star Wars figures at Ollie's and falsely claiming that the toys don't sell. If those toys have moved to Ollie's, they did not sell. I'm just telling you, they did not sell at the velocity needed to clear the shelves to bring the next wave product in. They wound up at Ollie's. And then depending on your Ollie's, depending on the, because my area, I live in a city, but it's not like a metropolis, okay? So sometimes, and you can see this at Ollie's, all the Marvel Legends and crap that they have at Ollie's, they're still there. They can't even move them. And they got them because they weren't really moving. I'm just... If they've already made it to Ollie's, chances are they were already playing the clearance game anyway. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. That does mean that by velocity, by the formula, they were not selling. Only saw MJ, maybe a Sandman, no Spider-Man for me neither. Thanos completely just gave up on him, and I get it too. And these last 2 years, I've done a lot more online buying than I have ever done. Some of the lines that I like are specifically online, so I guess that's fair. But I didn't even attempt to look for Jungle Recondo up there. That's the retro card Jungle Recondo right there. And I said, I'm not even taking the chance. Click, 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 send him to me. I'll wait. That's fine. I don't care. I big batted every single one of those retro guys that I wanted. And it was like, send him. I'll wait. I'll wait as long as it takes. I don't give a shit. I'm not hunting. I love the hunt. But I've gotten to the point where the hunt is for conventions now. You know what I like more than hunting figures? Getting the figures I want. It's that simple. Getting the figures I want. That's more important to me now. This recent MCU wave is one of each character and 25 Iron Man according to my recent Walmart. Dude, I know. I know what you're talking about. That's so ridiculous. Y'all are lucky to be U.S. citizens. In my toy stores, you either find 5 years or 1 decade old figures or cheap bootlegs with random characters added in. I've seen those. No, I understand exactly what you're talking about. I've seen those. Let's see. I don't have Ollie's. I've got some good deals at Ross and DD's, though. I've found a couple things at Ross here and there, but it's very far and few between. And you have to get lucky. Because of the kind of store that they are, you do have to kind of get lucky. You have to pick them at just the right time. But you can get some cool stuff. I should have. I was stupid, and I didn't do it. I found Crocmaster there, and they only wanted like $15, and I passed on him because I'm stupid. I was being responsible because I'm a putz, and I was like, I know I shouldn't be spending money right now, and so I didn't get him, and, well, now I don't have him. And I wanted that crocodile to fight my Red Sonja. A lot of the stuff at discount stores this past year was due to distribution troubles. Right. Retail has been terrible lately, absolutely. Keep seeing Bruce banners. Really? Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. No, you do. Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. Missed what Bill said because I was attending to my mother. Well, I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but luckily, this will be a posted video. Let me go back, though. Let me... Let's see. There it is. My go-to comic shop, Ontario Comics, sells some badass and even retro figures for great price. It's privately owned. Man, thinking about it. No, but see, that's what I mean. FYE prices their stuff pure profit. They don't price it to move it. That's not what they're interested in. And these are two business models. Sometimes a person that is profit gouging, they can have a successful business. But it's built on the desperate people that think that that's the price they have to pay. Most businesses that are successful price to move inventory. They realize that the longer an item sits on the shelf, the more money they lose anyway. So by the time they sell a $200 Spider-Man figure that was never worth $200 to begin with, they already lost a lot of money keeping him on the shelf, stopping an inventory tag that could have went there, that could have moved 2 or 3 figures out of that peg. You go into toy stores here and it's just dominated by bootleg mecha and Nerf guns and maybe some Justice League stuff if you're lucky. Also, Hot Wheels. Lots and lots and lots of Hot Wheels. Well, to be fair, the Wheels aisle is a thing here, too. We have a huge Wheels aisle. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of Hot Wheels at any store that sells toys, basically. That's a big item here, too. That's not really rare. Let's go back to some stuff here. I'll go down to the corner like so. That's something I want to talk about. I screwed up. This is the second time that I've seen this Kingpin. This is the second time that I've had an honest shot at this Kingpin. And this is the second time that I missed him. He showed up on Big Bad. I talked about it. I discussed that this is the best Kingpin they've ever released. I discussed that it would be awesome to have him on my shelf alongside Daredevil and Spider-Man. And then I forgot that we talked about it and did not buy him. And I haven't gone hunting for him. And I already kind of took the money that was going to go to him and put it into something else. So now I don't think I could get him if I wanted to. Like, I couldn't find him on Amazon earlier either. So, like, yeah. Damn. And I guess I'm back on the waiting game. Either someday they'll make a new Kingpin, that's just as good or better, or I'll have to get lucky and find this guy somehow. Because, yeah, I missed him again. Again. Oh, well. Target. All my Targets and Walmarts here in Philly have really? Oh, yeah, no, yeah, designated car aisles. For some reason, I read that wrong. You could tell I'm ready for sleep. I'm ready for sleep. I work tomorrow pretty early, too, so, yeah, I'm just kind of out of it. I'm trying to be as here as I possibly can be. Let's see. You did pre-order this. No, that's awesome, Copter. Look, Thanos, that's awesome, because, like, dude, I talked about this in not too long ago. I talked about this in a different video. I think it was when I discussed the Batmobile. All these people that think that they can predict the toy market, you can't do that right now. You think that you can, you cannot. You don't know what's going to be reissued. Honestly, you do not. And even figures that you feel would be absolute are not absolute. They just will not. Like that Superpowers Batman, gray and blue suit, oval. He should have been everywhere, right? I have 5 Walmarts and 3 Targets. He never appeared on the shelves at any single one of those stores, even once. Not once. He sold out of Big Bad. He sold out of Entertainment. He sold out of Amazon, except for third-party sellers who were asking for a lot of money. It took a long time to find somebody that was willing to sell it for a price that I was willing to pay. I paid $25 for him, and I was like, look, I'm going to bite the bullet. Give me the Robin, give me the Batman, give me the Batmobile. That's $75 out of my pocket. You know what? I'm okay with it. Whatever. And I did it. But I almost did not get it because I screwed up and thought that I would just get him. I just get him at Walmart. He's sure to show up at Walmart. They've been stocking Superpowers like crazy. I'll just get him at Walmart. Never showed up. Nor did the Robin. Nor did the other Robin. Nor did the other Wonder Woman. We never got anything. Not a single figure from that wave has ever hit a single shelf at any of the 5 Walmarts in my area. Not one figure. They are still trying to sell Wave 1. And now they have a couple of randoms here and there. They got the video. They got the vehicles. But that's it. And it blew my mind because, like I said, we like to think that we're in this hobby and that we got this thing. We're like, oh, I've been doing this a long time. I'll get that Batman. It's fine. I'll wait. Batman and Superman, what he's saying right here, Batman and Superman are things that you would assume get restocked often. They are high sell items. And even they're not a guarantee right now. So, man, if you got a chance and you got the money and you can jump on what you want, jump it. Because, damn, that's how I feel about my classic Superman figure. Everything I found at stores had him in armor, or he was basically shaped like the Hulk, had to go to Entertainment Earth. Yeah, absolutely. You really want a new or re-release of Archangel. I understand that. Also, oh man, I did pre-order that. I got him. I got the Superior Spider-Man. Ooh, yes. Oh, he is superior. Oh my God. Dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to have that in my hands. And there's one other thing I want. I have to have that Ghost Rider. I'm going to have to get lucky. I'm going to have to get him I have to go online. I have to go to Target. I'm not testing the store. No way. Do not count on finding it on the shelves in a store at a Target for a Target exclusive. Go online and order it the day it drops. which is like, it's on the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. 11 days. 11 days from now, if you want that Ghost Rider like I want that Ghost Rider, go there the minute it drops and order it, or you will not get it. I'm just calling it now. The chances you will come across that on the store shelves, I'm marking as very low. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully everybody that goes to the store can find it. But I have a feeling he's going to go fast. On a personal level, he's the one I've been waiting for years. That, when I was reading Spider-Man comics, there was a point in my life where I kind of hit like a peak, where I was like reading. And that was the Ghost Rider that was the Ghost Rider that came over to the that was the Ghost Rider that came over to the comic that I was reading, the Spider-Man at the time, and that was the one that I saw, and that was my introduction to Ghost Rider. So that was the one that when I went and read a couple of books from him and kind of got into Ghost Rider and found what he was, that's who he was. Then I started playing video games and stuff, and it wasn't him. It was like a different Ghost Rider. Now, I know that sounds crazy because like, oh, Bill, how could you not know about Johnny Blaze? Because that's not where I started. Everybody has a starting point where they discover something. And because Ghost Rider is the kind of character that switches identities, by the time I got to him, by the time I discovered him and read anything about him, he was not Johnny Blaze. He was this one that's coming out right now. And I want it. And as far as I am aware, I will double check my information. As far as I'm aware, yes, that Ghost Rider is a Target exclusive. In fact, so that I don't give false information, I saved the article on my phone. I purposely saved the article on my phone. So let me go in here and let me guarantee it before I say something. Nope. Entertainment Earth exclusive. I apologize. There. Nope. Thanos, thank you for calling me out. But either way, I'm right. Don't wait. Because it says right here, Marvel Legends series. It'll drop at 4:30, 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. ET. This is because this is Danny Ketch. This is the one that I grew up with. That's exactly who this is. And this says only. The only mark this has is for Entertainment Earth. And every other one of these, like you can actually see this. Yeah, I can't actually show that to you. But that's what it is. So, because the other ones, like if I scroll up right here, it has an Amazon link, an entertainment link, and a Big Bad link. Then if I scroll up a little more, there's an Amazon and an entertainment link. So, maybe he'll appear at some other things, but for right now, the only link that I have on this article is Entertainment Earth. So maybe that means that's what that's where he's going to be, is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. If that's true, don't wait, because if you pass your opportunity off, that means he's going to be limited enough that you need to get him when he drops. And he's the more expensive one. He comes with the bike. People are going to be going after him. And like, I wasn't paying enough attention because I just immediately thought Target for some reason. I think it was because the Fire Red, Target, and because Target has been grabbing up exclusives, and we've got the same thing going on with like Walmart, where Walmart's like, we get this guy, and then I never get a chance to get that guy because he never shows up at Walmart. Yeah. What up, good sir? Just got done watching Icon Unearthed Batman Episode 2. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I missed him. All rant aside, all talk aside, I missed him, and it's really got me in a state of mind now where I'm like, that sucks. Because I wanted this one, and man, if these things drop anywhere close to exclusive, grab them, because he was in multiple spots and I still missed out on him. I guess I haven't gone like hard earth searching yet, but I have a feeling he's sold out everywhere. It would not surprise me at all. I do have a kind of back door, though. I don't know what my chance is, but I'm going to try to get a hold of my friend. I have a buddy who used to run Warp Drive Toys. And he was the first place that ever got this back when I was first hunting for him. So it's possible that since he had luck selling this guy before, he might have bought a couple for his store. So I'll have to call him and see if he got one. If he got one, I'll buy it from him. I bought this. Ooh, I bought it. I bought it. And so let's see here. It is a Vice Network series that's on YouTube. Oh, I didn't know that. Mine is a little different. Blaze was my writer because I saw him in everything. The movie and the Marvel games coming out at the time. But by the time I wanted Ghost Rider stuff, it was all Reyes. Yeah, see, no, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, so mine, when I got in, it was Danny Ketch. And I didn't even know Blaze. Like, I had no idea who that was. It wasn't like, and then I seen him in the video game and I'm like, that's not Danny. I don't understand what's happening. And then it was like, everything was Johnny Blaze. And then, like you said, then it kind of moved on, not way too long ago, everything was Reyes. And that's cool. And I like the idea that the writer takes different hosts and whatnot and moves through it, keeps his lineage tight, keeps him moving and evolving all the time, which I actually appreciate. But yeah, it did mean that I've been waiting a long time for them to release the Ghost Rider that I want. Now, this Spider-Man is kind of good for me. I passed on a Spider-Man that I wanted. Like, that I really wanted. And see, some people don't even know that there are others. They don't realize that character is fluid. And I get that. I passed on the Superior Octopus. I wanted that. I was stupid to have passed on him. The one that was in the gray and green. Stupid to have passed on it. I really should have bought that. So when this came up, I was not passing it by. And there's one part to this figure that I think is unbelievable. This right here is fantastic. I mean, he's got the claws and everything like that. He looks fantastic. His arms and everything, his extra stuff. This guy is absolutely spot on. But then I saw this. That right there. The other head is reflective lenses that show the city. So his eyes, see? They're showing the buildings. He's looking at the city. And then there's the other head where he's just got the white eyes. That is one of the coolest extra heads for Spider-Man. One of the most inventively awesome extra heads I have ever seen on a Spider-Man. Literally ever. And I almost feel like they screwed up now. The Tobey Maguire should have had that. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man should have had that. Because he even has a scene in his own movie where he looks across the city and the lenses are reflecting. And now that I've seen them do this, now I'm sitting here like, how many other Spider-Mans like needed this? Like, this should have been an absolute standard feature. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's sadness. that sadness in my soul. But and I got him, and I got that head, and I got that feature. That's so cool, man. I remember an older Superior Spider-Man figure a few years back. Never got it because it wasn't collecting yet. This one is way better. This one finally had the back arms. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is it. This is dude. This is so good. Yeah, he needed the arms. Yeah, dude. That's such a part of this. That's like if you buy the Iron Spider-Man costume thing from like Civil War and he doesn't have the arms. Like you're missing half the character at that point. Personally, I feel like you missed half the reason for it. This I pre-ordered as well. I've got mine for Amazon. Looks like you could still get her. I panicked when I saw her. At first I was like, you know what? Nope, not worried about it. It's fine. Now that they have this Buck, they'll release the one I want, the Fantastic Four. I want her in the Fantastic Four costume. The blue, that's what I want. But then, I got to looking at her. And I was like, damn it, that's a good face sculpt. Damn it, that's good hair. Those are good muscles. And she is not I thought, because she was going to be muscles, I thought they would be using heavy reuse from like Power Princess. I don't see that here. I am almost 100% sure I picked up my Power Princess and kind of looked her over. That is not what they did here. She got a lot of her own parts. And now that they've built this, they will... There's no way they won't use this to release other She-Hulks. But then I started thinking about it. And I was like, they have released a couple of She-Hulks before. And then they just kind of walk away from her. And people have been asking for the classic costume for years now. And we still don't have it. So I kind of had to back myself off and be like, hold on, Bill. This may be it. If you don't do this, there may not be another one. Like, this is a weird character for Marvel because it is popular. But in terms of toys, she is almost invisible. Like, they just don't use her. And when they do, how do I put this? Like, they did the gray one for the Fantastic Four wave. Not a lot of people liked it. Then they just painted her green. Not a lot of people were thrilled with that because it was just the one that they didn't want green. Then I think they did like a bigger version of her, like the buff one. Then they did the movie one. That buff one, I may be imagining that, but I feel like that was a thing. Either way, then I know they did the movie one, which a lot of people did not care about. And to be fair, I do not personally collect the live action people for the most part. Few and far between. If I run into one and I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's kind of cool. Like one of my favorite characters, and I know, oh, it's because she's hot, isn't she, Bill? No. One of my favorite characters in the Marvel movies is Black Widow. The reason is because she's the most believable and admirable on the team. And I stand by that judgment. Why? Because watch her in the Avengers movie. Watch her in the Avengers movie. And watch how everybody has superhero moments. They're all superheroes. They're regular citizens who were granted super de-duper powers who are now fearless men and women. But she's not. She's been thoroughly trained for these kinds of hazards. And yet, she has honest emotional reactions to everything that goes down. She panics. She sweats. She gets tired. She gets exhausted. She glazes over the fact that she's not as physically strong as somebody else. Like, you sure you can do this? Yeah, I'll be fine. That kind of crap. And when the Hulk chases her through the helicarrier, she barely escapes with her life. And for a moment, she has a straight up panic moment. where she has to stop what she is doing and she has to panic for a moment because she's human, like a freaking human. And she sits there for a minute and but even though she's having a very human moment, when the intercom comes on and they say, I can't remember what they say, but they say something like is anybody out there, so and so, and that's when she kind of snaps in. She's like, I gotta do this, and she kind of answers the comm, and she goes, Romanoff, I'm on it. And she forces herself to get up, and you can see it in her face. I don't know if she's just a better actor than the others. I don't know if the men were good actors, but not as good as she is. I don't know. But there are very hardcore, undeniable human moments from that character in the Marvel movies. And that's the reason why, when I had a chance to buy live action Marvel Legends, she was one of the ones I bought. Because I respect the hell out of what they did with that character. I really, really like it. Like, I really, really, really like it. So I bought her. She is not the same thing. There are not 20 She-Hulks for us to buy. So I fought with myself and then said, I gotta buy her. If I don't buy her, I'm probably not getting the one that I want. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, not but a year after buying this one, they'll immediately go to the repaint room, repaint her, and give me the Fantastic Four one that I want. You know what? That's fine. I'll buy it again. But, like, for right now, I'm going to put her with my Fantastic Four because she's as close as I'm going to get, and I don't know when we're going to get another shot at her. Let's see. Always wanted a She-Hulk. None of the recent releases past few years did it for me, so I ended up getting the 2006 Blob Build-A-Figure She-Hulk since she has the classic costume. Damn, I gotta get this one. Yeah, this one personally feels like the best one they've ever done. Let's see. The new Legends Carol Danvers Ms. Marvel isn't up for pre-order yet. She's the Target exclusive. She's the Target. He just reminded me. Sorry, I was instead of actually looking at the chat. I kind of do that. I try to answer every single one of these that I can get to. She is not up for pre-order yet. Keep your eyes on Target. She's a Target exclusive. That one I'm almost 1,000% sure of. I knew one of them was Target exclusive. I think Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel, that's the one. That's the one that got put to that. I'm almost 1,000% sure. Let me turn this thing off. Yeah. I'll do what I have to do there. Yeah, so you just checked. Yeah. Yeah, she's not up for pre-order yet. But I'm almost 1,000% sure that one is without a doubt the Target exclusive. I mixed her and Ghost Rider up in my mind, and for some reason put Ghost Rider at Target. I'm pretty sure it's Carol. Let's see. Just ordered her on Amazon. Damn, she looks amazing, and I'm with you. I'm up to see more repaints with this body mold for the Fantastic Four and classic costume. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is the one, man. And I was like, I'm not going to take a chance that they release this, and then for some reason it doesn't go over. And that's the end of it. And she looks like she's got that upper movement here. She looks like she's got the elbows. Everything about her looks like she's fitting the same kind of movement that we see. Like, she's great. She looks like she's an absolute top figure. Luckily, I got her. This is what I'm not missing. I missed the Kingpin, and then I said, oh, damn it, didn't miss her. Let's see. Want a future Foundation Fantastic Four set. Yes, a set, too. That's got to be said. A set. I don't want to build a figure wave. I don't want to, because here's what I have a bad feeling about. I have a bad feeling that if we ever get a future Foundation set, it's going to be a build-a-thing. It's going to be build future Foundation thing. And of course, we'll buy maybe this wouldn't be terrible. I would love a set. But if they wanted to do a Build-A-Figure correctly, instead of forcing you to buy a bunch of characters you don't want, they could just sell the Future Foundation characters. They could sell the 3, and then if they need 2 more, the kids. Or that Spider-Man that I want. He's a member that could easily be put in there. And you could use all of them to build the thing and get like a big, awesome, super cool thing. That wouldn't be a terrible, because every single one of those guys makes sense to the line that you're trying to build. Like, that's what I have such a problem with Build-A-Figures. And one of the things that I really get stuck on with Build-A-Figures is that they'll be like, hey, build Colossus. And I'm like, okay, sweet. And then they'll be like, here's these like 3 characters that mean absolutely nothing to Colossus in any way whatsoever. And here's these guys that you actually want that make sense for what you're trying to build. And I'm just making a random point. I actually don't remember the Colossus wave 100% as to who was in it. But you get what I'm talking about. Like, okay, you know what? Currently, the Saber-Toothed Tiger. If you were going to do that, right? If you were going to do that, why is not that entire thing, literally the entire wave, why is it not Savage Lands? Why not Savage Lands Rogue? I'm going to be honest, I don't remember his name, but what about that pterodactyl dude? Right? We already got one person that makes sense. What about his woman? Right? How come these aren't the figures that we're talking about for Savage Lands? And since we're really hardcore on Wolverine right now, that's what we're doing, is we're trying to sell Wolverines this year. Why not a Savage Lands Wolverine where he's all torn up, right? He's got a bunch of battle damage and everything like that. And he's very much just like a Savage Lands, making it through the Savage Lands Wolverine. How come that? Where's that? Like, you could have made that entire wave to build the Sabretooth from Savage Land figures. Where was that at? That everybody that has anything to do with X-Men or the Savage Lands, or even understanding even the slightest bit about that idea, would have said, all of these things make sense. I want all of them. They all fit a certain theme. And then I also get the Saber-Tooth Tiger for doing that. That's how you do a Build-A-Figure. I hate that they use Build-A-Figures to sell characters they would never be able to sell. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I never will. And I know I'm complaining about stupid crap. Stupid crap that nobody really should spend this much time complaining about. But I'm complaining about it. So let's move on. But I love this. I ordered that. I love it, and I ordered it, and I want it, and it's coming. It's coming in August, and it's gonna be sweet. So yeah, let's see. This is cool that this is happening. Oh, this is okay. So Lalandra here, that's pretty cool. I kind of wish I had not bought any of these, and I would just buy this entire wave. Because now I'm having trouble hunting down the 3 that I need. Because Cyclops all of a sudden has disappeared and he's worth more money than he should be worth. Period. He's worth more money than he should be worth. He is a $25 figure. I don't care that he's sold out off the shelves. He's a $25 recent figure. Recent figure. As in, so freaking recent that they're still printing them off the press and shipping them to friggin' places to sell. We're still receiving packs of that Cyclops to put on shelves, and people have bought him off the racks and have already jarred his price point up past 35, moving into 40, then we'll move to 45, and there is no reason for that Cyclops to be overpriced this early in the run. No reason. If I'd have known, I just would have come on here and bought the whole wave. Because you could still buy the whole wave, but you can't buy Cyclops. He's not here. He's not here. He's not on Big Bad. You got to go to Amazon or third-party-esque sellers and put your bid in. And his price is going up almost by the day. he was at 30. Then he was at 30. Then he was at like 32. Then he was at 35. And then the last time I checked Amazon, I found him for like 38 something. I'm not saying if you didn't shop around, you couldn't find him at a reasonable price, but I'm saying that his price is growing almost by the week. And they just need to restock him. He's X-Men 97. Everybody loves X-Men 97 right now. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It makes me unhappy. Oh well. I'm not so happy that I'm not. Damn, now I want a whole Savage Lands wave, especially with the idea of Savage Lands Rogue Marvel Legends. Yes, absolutely we want that. Absolutely we want that. She would sell fast. If they did her right, she would sell very fast. A Savage Lands Rogue? I have a Savage Lands Rogue. I have a statue sitting over here at the side of the room, actually. She's one of my favorite statues. Saw Lilandra. I won't give away anything because, not everybody sees everything all the time as fast as everybody else does. But X-Men 97, I seen her. She's in it. And that was a pretty good episode for what it was worth. And it is cool to think that you could finally put a decent one on your shelf. That is a really solid Lilandra. I'm going to be honest. I was not one of the people begging for this Wolverine. It is cool. I mean, especially like if you're one of the guys that's like a buff into the X-Men stories and you know where it comes from, and that's pretty cool, but like, she's the star of the pack, man. It's a Wolverine pack where he literally got outshined by the pack-in character. As far as I'm concerned, she's the star of that box. But let me back it for a second. Let me back it for a second. You just said it right here. You want an unarmored Lilandra and the armored Xavier. Because she's appeared in X-Men 97. Some people buy everything. Do we buy this Lilandra? Do we? Or do we just wait? Because now that she's been in X-Men 97, the X-Men 97 waves are selling very well. The show is doing very well. Do we just wait? Because we could very well get an animated Lilandra and an animated Armor Xavier. Is there any reason we won't get them? I mean, that's pretty unique and pretty cool, and people, I think, would really like it. And they just got a figure. And so with just a little bit of rework in the proper ways, painting, some sculpt designs here and there, a different head, they could do it. They could do animated. So I feel like I'm taking my chance here, and I'm going to wait this one out. Maybe there's a chance I'll never put a Lilandra on my shelf, but I'm going to take the chance on this one and skip her. I don't really dig the Wolvie brood. I just think they could have done better. Yeah, they probably could have done better with it. What do I think of Transformer 1 trailer? I haven't seen it. And to be completely honest, Transformers is one of those things that I'm not into. And I've almost avoided getting into it, in all honesty. I've almost literally avoided it. Because it's one of those things like, it's big, it's mecha, it's cool, it's an 80s property. I feel like giving it a chance, I could probably get into it. But that is a pitfall I'm almost afraid of. Is that a show that I would just watch and then be into the show or whatever, and then, I don't know, maybe. I watched the movies. I know it's not the same thing. Before somebody like explodes, because people get real defensive about the movies. The movies were big cars that turn into big robots that shoot things. But if that's what you were going there for, and that's the only reason I was going there, I wanted to see cars that turn into big robots that shoot things. Boom Boom Explosions. And it just so happened that Boom Boom Explosion director was the guy that was running the show. So I got big robots, big cars, big booms, and some butts. And I was like, hey, this movie's for me. Like, it was no more complicated than that, guys. I wasn't trying to do justice to Transformers. And yet, even though I watched like 6 of those things, I never once was like, oh shit, I gotta buy a Transformer. So maybe I could get into the shows and not get into the other side of it. But maybe I would. I don't know. And so it's one of those things that I almost avoid it as a principle to save myself. And maybe that's not right, but it feels right. Because I feel like I could really get myself in trouble with a property that big with so much to get into. X-Men 97 showed Marrow, and that's the figure I've been waiting for forever. Now, actually, we've talked about this before. You and me both are on there. I would love to get one. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Just asking for the figures that might get sought after soon again. Now, you're right. I know what you, I know. I have an idea as to what you're talking about. Yeah. Transformers to me is like Motu. Your trek into Motu would basically be the same if you trekked into Transformers. It's possible. But like I said, I trekked into all the movies and I didn't have any desire to buy anything. So I don't know. But I've never watched G.I. Joe. And I buy G.I. Joe figures because I just think they're phenomenal. So I don't know. Like, it's really complicated as to where I fall with that and how I feel about Transformers. Because the toys do almost nothing for me. I had a couple when I was growing up. I just don't care. I had some Beast War guys when I was growing up, and I played with them a lot. Like, I had a lot of storylines that, like, involved, like, these bestial dudes that turned into, like, robot things. And I even watched a little bit of the Beast Wars, but still never actively sought the figures. And I still don't actively seek out the figures. And even sometimes, because they're so prominent in Walmarts, I will sometimes go into the aisle and pick them up off the shelf and look at them and go, that guy's cool. And then I'll put him back and leave. So I don't know what it is, but something has never clicked Transformers-wise for me. Ever. Like, ever. I liked Exo Squad. I like Gundam. I like Zords from a good portion of the Zords from like Power Rangers, but not Transformers. I have no idea why. I like big robots. I don't know. I really don't know. Something has never quite clicked with Transformers. It never did anything for me, and I have no clue why. As a Transformer fan since I was a kid, new stuff doesn't do it for me. Oh, this is interesting. I just hang with the stuff I knew. Basically, some of the cartoons and the Bay movies. Protocol, that's really interesting. That makes me feel like that's interesting because I just said, like, I look at the toys and whatnot and they never do anything for me. Where G.I. Joe's, I don't watch G.I. Joe, and I don't read the comics, and I don't know any of the characters realistically. But I do buy G.I. Joe Classified because I think it's phenomenal. You just kind of opened me up to, I wonder if maybe I look at the toys and that's all I see. It's really weird to explain that when you're a toy collector and you explain that to somebody where they're like, oh, do you collect this? And you're like, I kind of see them as toys. And they're like, isn't that what you collect? And I'm like, yes, but no, not really. Yeah, so I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Transformers movies are really bad way to start. Not for me, they weren't. They're universally despised. Not for me, it wasn't. The shows, and especially the anime, the cartoon, are much better objectively. Maybe. Maybe. But you could argue that the cartoon might not be better for somebody that takes themselves too seriously, and a Saturday morning cartoon would not hold their older attention. This happens. There's a lot of people that can't go back and watch a Saturday morning cartoon because it's childish and stupid to them. So I don't know. I really don't. And I think you have to be in the right state of mind too, depending on what you choose to watch. Like for me, like I said, what did I want out of big robots that shoot things movies? I wanted big robots that shot big boom booms, that make big explosions, and I didn't mind if they peppered in some Megan Fox here and there. I'm sorry. In fact, I'm not sorry. I will not apologize for it. You know why I go to movies like Terminator? It wasn't to feel deeply philosophized. It was to see shit blow up. And Terminator 2 blew shit up better than any other movie of its time and still holds up even today in the top 10 greatest action movies ever filmed in the history of all explosion action movies. Ever. But you know why I went to that movie? See things blow up. You know why I went to Transformers? See things blow up. I got what I wanted. There was just enough comedy, just enough robots, just enough explosions. It really didn't bother me. I know that people get hung up on the movies, but it really didn't hit me that way. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. Let's see, I was the same as you, Bill. I started with the movies and was just put off hard. I wasn't put off hard by the movies, but after watching the show and the anime, I was more or less enamored. I liked the movies, but I'll also give you this bit of tidbit because some people will freak out about this. I also watched all of the Resident Evil movies. Why? Because if I took the name Resident Evil off the movies, if I was like, can I get that? Let me tear that label off there. Now it's not Resident Evil. Now it's Girl with Gun Shoots Monsters. Okay, show it to me. Oh, cool. She shot monsters. Oh, cool. She ran up walls. Oh, cool. There's a bunch of monsters. Oh, cool. She does kung fu. Hey, okay. Let's see the second one. Bigger monster. Girl does thing. Girl has superpowers. Getting a little stupid, but I'm willing to let it go. And I watched all of Resident Evil with my wife. All of it. She knows nothing about the video games. Nothing. So to her, they were action movies with a female star that was kicking a lot of ass. And maybe it's because I watched it with her that I was able to take the name off of it. And I was like, they're not actually bad movies. They're not going to change your life. They're not going to rewrite cinema. They're not going to give you a thing that you've never seen before. And they're not Roger Rabbit or something like that. They're not classics. They will more than likely die with us, and the next generation of people will have no reason to watch them whatsoever. But for what it's worth, they run, they shoot, they jump, it looks good, you have fun, you're done. You forget the movie after you've seen it, and you're like, what was that part where they shot that guy? Oh, I don't know, maybe I'll watch it again someday. That's all they are. And if you watch them like that, they really don't bother you. They really don't. And for Transformers, yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted robots to shoot things. Robots shot things. Bill was happy. Beast Wars was my show to watch in the mornings before school. I'm gonna be so friggin' old. Are you ready for old? You ready? Oh my God. So I'm 40. Let's put that into perspective. I'm 40. When I was growing up, right before I went to school, every morning before I walked out the door, the one cartoon that was on TV on the channel that I happened to be on was Aladdin. Aladdin used to play in the morning, and I knew that it was time for me to walk out the door and walk to school because Aladdin was over. I watched Aladdin before I went to school. I don't remember even liking it. I just remember that it was on, and I watched it. Beast Wars was really good. Dated now, but still entertaining. YOLO Park non-transforming Transformers are rad. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No, those do look cool. Beast Wars, both American and Japanese show, Energon, Hyperlink, incredibly good show. The comics are also incredibly cool. Sure, a ton of continuities, but so are also Marvel and DC. No, I get that. Okay, I get that. Oh, there's a lot of talking. I'll say. Watched the newest trailer and was not a fan. Haven't bought a Transformers figure in years, but I will go back and watch like the second movie and go on with my day and talk about how cool Armada was. Bad movies are what got me into Bay movies are what got me into Transformers. At that time, I was all Power Rangers and Spider-Man, but then I saw Transformers where a badass car had a hot chick in it and then beat up another robot. Shit was cool. I'm sorry. No, he's right. For some people, that's all it needed to be. And that's all it ever promised to be. It never promised to, be the greatest of all movies that would have ever existed. It never even marketed itself like that. You could tell by the opening previews, we're going to blow shit up. Not necessarily the cartoons. The original was a Saturday morning cartoon, but nowadays the cartoons are more serialized, plot-driven. Japan has more serious a la Gundam. I guess. I wouldn't know that, to be fair. Okay, so I'm a Godzilla fan, but I chose not to go see Kong x Godzilla New Empire because every reviewer said it was mostly a Kong movie with Godzilla only in at the end. That might be fair. I was kind of arguing with myself there for a minute. He does take a bit of a back seat. We follow Kong as the main, as kind of like the star. And Godzilla's in the back doing things. I mean, they follow him. But Godzilla's in the back doing things over here. And then those things lead up to a thing that then Godzilla comes over here, and then they're together, and then they do Godzilla King Kong things together. And so, yeah, that could be fair. The movie was fine. The movie was fine. Big monsters punched on big monsters and shot big laser beams, and Kong got a robot arm, and it was fine. I didn't hate it. But I'm going to say this. After Godzilla -1, it is very, very, very difficult to watch Godzilla punch a big monster. There was so much depth and passion and pure goodness in that movie. I've seen it twice. I think I'm gonna buy it. And I think it is the best Godzilla movie ever made. The more I see it, the more I think about it, I really think it is the best Godzilla movie ever made. It's going to be very hard to top or even tie. I'm going to wait till stream so I can skip to the Godzilla part. Pretty good way to look at the Resident Evil movies. They are just pure entertainment for me at this point. Sure, Transformers still has a childish cartoon comedy at times, but that's everywhere, and it's not the only thing there is. I'm sorry, I'm trying. My eyes are getting tired. And it's not the only thing there, so equating American Transformer to Saturday morning comedy feels unfair. I mean, it is a Saturday morning cartoon made in the 80s. It is what it is. It's just like G.I. Joe. You don't take G.I. Joe seriously. There are serious parts. Or it's the same as Motu. You don't take Motu seriously. At least you shouldn't take it as seriously as some people take it. But that's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I can't argue this with you. But it was a Saturday morning cartoon made in the 80s. Chances are, before I ever see it, it is a Saturday morning cartoon made in the 80s. I like Ghostbusters, but that is also a Saturday morning cartoon built for its time, and it plays like a Saturday morning cartoon. A cut above the rest. I'll argue that the first season of Ghostbusters is very solid, but it is a Saturday morning cartoon, and that comes with a certain style. I saw the new Godzilla X King Kong movie. Was going to put it off, but even though Godzilla is my favorite and takes a back seat, still enjoyed all the monster fights. Which is better? -1. -1. It's -1. It's so far and away -1 that Shin doesn't even get his name mentioned in the same sentence. Loved -1. Shin is more horror than it should. Godzilla -1 looks great. Sorry, Oscar-winning Godzilla -1. Just like the old Turtle show, they needed a cartoon to sell toys. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't watch it and enjoy it, but it's a Saturday morning cartoon. Until Duke gets stabbed in the chest with a snake. Right? No, there are serious things in G.I. Joe. But it is a Saturday morning cartoon. We grew up with them, okay? To argue Saturday morning cartoons and the merits of how serious or how evolved it was to a person that literally grew up with a bowl of cereal and a Saturday morning block, we were Saturday morning cartoons. I'm 40. I was the pinnacle age of Saturday morning cartoons. I didn't miss a Saturday. Cartoons not serious, maybe. G.I. Joe, comic was much more mature and serious. I have heard that. I've heard that a lot. That the comic books by Larry Hama, that they were taken a lot more seriously. Larry Hama put in more work than he actually needed to on them. And let's be fair, that's true, by the way. I'm not trying to crap on G.I. Joe, but when you walk into a guy's office, you throw some toys on his desk and you go, these need a comic book. And then he just has to figure it out. Oh well, crap. Okay, well this dude is ninja, I guess? Sure, whatever. Larry Hama is the only reason that comic book G.I. Joe worked. Had they given that crap to anybody else, I don't think G.I. Joe would have survived comic books. It would have just been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures. Where they basically did more cartoons and comic books. And I'm not saying you can't read those Archie comics, but they're not the same thing. The G.I. Joe comic books stand on their own as a true comic book property. So that's very interesting to me. Let's see. Let's just remember our first anime was a Saturday morning cartoon, Pokemon. No, it was not. And for you guys, I can't argue for you guys. So, age is such a thing, guys. It's such a thing. I'm 40. I remember I discovered anime, because we're going to do this now. I discovered anime because there was a program on the Sci-Fi Channel. And it happened late. Very, very, very late. And it was called like the Anime Invasion. And I would stay up to watch this thing because I didn't know what it was. And they played some crazy anime on that thing. And I saw that stuff before I knew that Pokemon had an anime. Like, I saw some wild stuff on there. Some stuff that my mind barely, like, processes. Like, I saw Akira on that. That's where I saw Zetum, Area, the Zetum Project, all 4 of those episodes. I saw Mobius the Glass Fleet. I saw this weird anime that even today I can't tell you what it is, but it sticks in my mind and it won't let me go, and I don't know what it is. There's like a girl and she's got like long silver hair, like long flowing silver hair. And like, I don't know if she like can see something or what. Here's what I remember. She has super long flowing silver hair, and there's a hero guy that's like trying to take care of her. He's trying to like save her or whatever, keep her safe. And then they come across this weird, ugly ass dude, and like, it turns out that he's been killing these silver hair maidens, and like, he's using their hair for like to create his own hair. So it was like some screwed up shit. Like some shit that like was so far removed from what I could understand or was really into at the time that I just couldn't process it. I saw Vampire Hunter D on Anime Invasion. I saw X on Anime Invasion. A bunch of stuff. And around that exact same time, I was just starting to experience some Robotech, which was actually Macross, but we didn't know that at the time. It was Robotech. And I had a couple of VHS of Robotech that was like brought to me by my uncle, who was stationed in Japan at the time. So he brought me a couple of discs here and there, and he brought me 6 manga, which were, of course, they were still printed in Japanese. I couldn't read them, but they were Dragon Ball Z, and they were the early Raditz fight. And I remember flipping through these, and I could see what was happening, but I couldn't read what was happening. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, what am I looking at? What is it? Why is it? How does it work? What's going on? It's martial arts. I understand that part. So, like, my first animes were bizarre. And then I kind of discovered Pokemon because, like, when I was going to school, they would play. And, like, the first episode I ever saw, like, shocked me. Because I like turned the TV on and like I seen it and I was like, wait, is this the video game I play? And I was just like, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I really did not know it was a thing. It was right before the big Pokemon explosion happened. Because I'm 40. So like, anime was already a thing and was kind of here, but it wasn't being talked about yet. So yeah, my anime start was kind of bizarre. I wasn't saying Saturday movie. Blah 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 blah. Okay, try again. I wasn't saying the Saturday morning cartoon was serious. I said the shows that came after based on said cartoon got way more serious and a lot less silly in nature. War, death, tragedy, etc. You could say the same for G.I. Joe. You could say the same for Ninja Turtles. I mean, that's true. All of these Saturday morning cartoons that we grew up on were interested in one thing: sell toys. And sell toys became a property that then people started to appreciate, and lore that people started to wrap their heads around. And so then the creators that came after expanded on these concepts. Kind of like how the movie was like a stepping point for G.I. Joe, just like the movie was a stepping point for Transformers. Power Rangers as a show was for kids. Then you read the comics and they're serious. You watch Transformers and it's a cartoon, but then some of the comics are brutal. Mostly depends on the media. Let's see. Then Digimon became Saturday. Then after that, they put Dragon Ball in the Saturday morning time slots. Let's see. It is an 80s versus 90s Saturday morning cartoon. Batman, TOS, and X-Men more serious. Okay, it is an 80s versus 90s. Saturday morning cartoons. Batman TOS, the animated series, and X-Men. Are you asking which one was more serious? Because I tell you the X-Men is more serious. In terms of what they dealt with, X-Men was more serious. Like, without a doubt. But I think it's because Batman was held back with some of the things. He was allowed to do a lot of stuff. A lot of darker stuff that cartoons simply were not allowed to do at the time. But X-Men, while they weren't allowed to do some of the darker imagery that Batman was allowed to get away with, they dealt with very serious topics that we are still dealing with today in a much more real and meaningful way and manner to address said things than what were... The idea, by the way, because I'm going to say this, and I don't give a shit what anybody thinks, if you are one of the people that is here like, oh, X-Men went woke, wake the fuck up. It always was, always has been, always will be. That's the only reason it fucking exists. For wokeness. Gundam was Bill. When Pokemon came out, I was old enough to think it was for kids. I kind of was too. I watched it. But I remember being around the same point where I was like, this is the video game I play. But not necessarily that this is like something that I can't wait to watch a lot of. Speed Racer. I did watch Speed Racer on MTV. I watched Speed Racer on MTV, and I also watched, this was after it had moved from Nickelodeon, Ren and Stimpy, and of course Beavis and Butthead, things of that nature. And I love Daria. I love it. I still count it as easily. It might be my favorite, like, sitcom cartoon ever created in the history of cartoons. It might be. But it's at the very least top 5 cartoons I have ever seen in my entire life. I love Daria, and that's why Bill bought the Mondo exclusive Daria and Jane. That's right, the exclusive. They're going on the movie shelf. I love them. I can't wait to review them here when they come in. Back then, I did not have cable. Back in the 90s, Latino's family could not get cable. Really? You mean... Oh, I wonder what you mean by that. When I was... I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe it's where you lived. I don't know. I don't understand. Or maybe I just misunderstood how you printed that, because I had a Latino family that my grandfather was like very involved with. They worked... So my grandfather ran a car lot. And there was a Latino family who specifically, the dad worked on my grandfather's cars for the car lot. My grandfather would buy a car, take it to him, have it examined by him. This guy would say, this is what's wrong with it. This is how I feel, blah, blah, blah. Then Grandpa would say, whatever it costs, you fix it. I won't put shit on my lot. My grandpa was very hardcore about that. If a car goes on his lot, it better drive off that lot, and it better be good to the customer that took it, because he was small and he needed word of mouth to sell the cars. I remember that. He was very hardcore about that. So it would go to him first. And I know it sounds like I'm making this name up. His name was Jose Lopez. But it would go to Lopez first, and then he would work on it. Then when he okayed it, it would go to my grandpa's car lot, then it would be sold off the lot. And that family, they had satellite TV, which was actually better than the TV that I had when I was growing up. I don't know. It just like that just really popped an old memory in my mind, so for some reason I wanted to ramble about it. Robotech was probably my first anime. I think for one of my buddies it was too. I can't guarantee this, but sometimes it feels like that may have been Nick's first hardcore dive into anime. Let's see. As a Latino, first anime, Dragon Ball Z, with Frieza voice that still puts off so many Americans with how not high-pitched it is. Let's see. I remember Bubblegum Crisis. I saw Bubblegum Crisis. Yes. Yes. Some of my earliest Ninja Scroll. Oh, dude. I saw Ninja Scroll I saw on that Anime Invasion. I remember that. I saw Bubblegum Crisis. I saw Eiko, the Eiko Project, on that Anime Invasion as well. I remember that's where I saw Eiko. Which Eiko's come back. There's like an Eiko, there's a new Eiko thing, I think, on Amazon, isn't there? On the Amazon Video or something? I think there is. I think there's a new Eiko. Regardless. After Dragon Ball came Sailor Moon, with monsters so scandalously designed, I was like, well, someone's getting a mob outside their window. We have very different morality standards or something. Or, I don't know. I never really felt like you've seen enough in Sailor Moon for it to be all that risque. Like one or two panty shots. And they weren't even actually panties because they wore onesies, which was more like a swimsuit. So it was just like, you could actually see more just going to the gym than what you actually... I don't know. It never hit me that way. It is Green Legend Ran. Wait, did you just look up that anime for me? Hold on a second. Did you just do that for me? Hold on. Holy shit. Holy shit. It is. It is. That's it. Yeah, that's the boy. And he protects the... She's got like the silver hair. And then there's like this really... Yeah, there's a big head guy. There's a big head guy. Oh my God. Holy shit, dude. Dude. No joke. No joke. Jake, thank you. That is just like... I did this also in Fandom Night once. I was like, who's that guy that has... He's like blue and he's red and he plays the guitar and he's kind of like Mega Man. And then you guys found out that it was Android Kakaider and I was able to go back and watch something that from my childhood has been scrambled in my brain for years that I cannot remember. That's it. That's Green Legend Ran. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to watch that shit. Because I have no clue what was going on when I was a kid when I saw that and I didn't understand what I was seeing. But it disturbed me at the end when they were like going to kill that girl and take her hair and like, I got to see that. I got to see that. I got to see what that was and know what it was. Dude, you just like solved a missing part of my memories. Like you solved a straight up portion of my amnesia with that one. Dude, I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. I couldn't even explain it well and you found that. That was insanity. Crazy. Well, for Saturday mornings, but for the first anime I did watch that I did not know was considered anime was Speed Racer. Then it was Battle of the Planets or Gatchaman. Over here, that's what I saw a show that was called Gatchaman, and then the series Voltron. There's literally a Sailor Moon monster who is just naked with small stickers to cover them up. I guess. I don't have the problem with it that you do. I really don't. I'm not even close, man. But I've lived a very different life than you, so maybe that's it. And look, okay, so let me put this into perspective real quick. There's literally a Sailor Moon monster who is just naked. I grew up with Frank Frazetta artwork. It does not bother me. I read Conan the Barbarian when I was very, very young. When I was I had a Garfield book with a tape that would read to me, and I would turn the page when it dinged, and I taught myself my first, acknowledgement of reading from that tape. I could tell that this is A, that's how you spell Garfield, and I pieced it together and started learning words from listening to that tape and reading that Garfield. And one of the earliest books I read after that book was my mom used to do side jobs for just for anything. She would do yard tilling, she would do roofing with like a group and whatnot, and then like be the person at the bottom where they'd throw all the shingles off the roof and she kind of pick them up and dumpster them and things like that. She did whatever small job she could do to guarantee side money coming into our home. We had no money. When I lived with my mother, I lived very poor. That's the best way I can explain it to you. It was very, very poor. Well, during that time, she offered to paint rooms in a house, specifically a house it was like for like a group. There was like 6 or 7 people that were living there, and I want to say it was like an orphanage kind of deal where there was like 6 or 7 different people. Then all these people specifically were all kids that were like, they were on their last years to be in the orphanage. So it was like they were like 16 or something like that, and then they would live there, and then at 17 they would have to get a job. They'd be kicked out of the house at 18 or something like that. I remember a situation like that. Anyways, regardless of all that, she painted those rooms in that house, and when she did that, she did not take money. She was offered a box of comic books, and she brought those comic books. I've told this story a couple times, actually. She brought those comic books home and gave me the box. There were black and white Tales from the Crypt in that box. I remember because I colored them. And to this day, I feel like an idiot that I did that, but I did it. He had a trench coat. I thought the trench coat should be yellow because like Dick Tracy. And I colored those comic books. I have no idea what kind of money I lost by doing that, but I did them. There were some Spider-Man comics in there. There was an entire stack of original Mirage Ninja Turtles, and there were Conan the Barbarian comics. And there was a little book in the back, which was different Barbarian artworks. And it was the first time I discovered Frank Frazetta. So I grew up with naked warriors riding tigers and going into battle and literally fighting giant angry I saw naked women with knives that were like jumping at giant exposed naked apes where their testicles were hanging down, and these were just like naked vicious monsters that were fought. We did not you see something like there was a naked thing on Sailor Moon, and I still think that's tame. It's nothing to me. Like, it doesn't even register. If you catched Robotech, did you watch Captain Tsubasa, the soccer one? It's funny that people complain about shows and media being woke as if a lot of us didn't develop our moral compass through stories. Absolutely. When I was younger, the closest thing to anime other kids knew was Sonic X. That's wild. Looking back at it, I'm not too sure how anime it is though. Or LOL. Back as a kid, Dragon Ball Z was my shit. I still love Dragon Ball Z to this day. Even now, I should have that whole damn thing. I had the entire series on DVD. I sold it so I could move into Blu-ray. I moved into Blu-ray. I got like 4 seasons in, and they released a different Blu-ray. And then I started debating whether or not I would buy that. Then I bought some of Kai, and then they stopped Kai. And then I tried to go back to the Blu-ray, and they were harder to find, and they jumped in money. And then I thought about getting the new Blu-ray, but I've heard reviews that said that the Blu-ray sets that are sold at Walmart are like bad. And that made me not want to buy those. And then I thought about going back to Kai because I only needed like the last 3 parts. They're not called seasons, they're called parts. And I was like, that's fine, I'll buy that. I like Kai. Only to then hear that Kai is on the master list of DVDs that are experiencing disc rot. And that a lot of people are buying them. and they're getting them and the discs don't work. And that makes me scared to invest in Dragon Ball Z. And I want it. I want Dragon Ball Z on my shelf. But I don't know if I'd be wasting my money by getting it at this point. Since I am Latino living in a Latino country, the whole phase of getting bullied for liking anime in school never happened. I don't remember ever being bullied. I don't know where that came from. I never got bullied in school for liking anime. You got bullied in school for a lot of different things, but I don't remember ever getting bullied for anime. In Dallas, Texas, cable was not considered a financial need. Understandable. When I was growing up with my mother, it also was not a financial need. Like, I completely get that. Completely. That's the reason I cried when my Superman broke. I actually tell that story that my Superman toy that I had was like the most important toy in the world to me when I was growing up, and it broke, and I knew that I wasn't getting another one, and it killed me inside. If that, I know I'm kind of self-promoting, but go watch that Superman Superpowers video. I talk all about that. That was like a huge deal to me. Still can't believe we had the whole South American changing in real life spirit bomb on the streets when Toriyama died. Legends, whoever did that. I couldn't do at university. Let's see. Hero Award for Jake. Dude, I cannot believe he found that. True Hero Award goes to Jake. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I cannot believe you found that. Jake, you and Bill should binge watch that show and do a Fandom Night review of it. Dude, I'm gonna watch it. I think I even found a YouTube link. I think I can just watch it. I don't have a problem with it either, laughing my ass off. I mean that it was unusual BS of think of the children. I love those risque Sailor Moon designs due to how daring they are. Frazetta, Conan, Braum, Fire and Ice. Yeah, 70s did not shy away from female form. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're right. And so look, I'm born in 84. So I realized that, I guess my growing up was in the 90s. But I have very, very detailed memories of 80s things that I was encountering in the 90s. And it's probably because at that point I was living with my mother and we didn't have a lot of money. So I was still very much encompassed in what was left over from the 70s and 80s that was in the house. So that's very possible why I feel like I lived a lot of that era where I was really living a lot of easier era 90s. Yeah. It was the era of heavy metal. Absolutely. Dude, and my dad, I didn't know that till years later after I was a little bit more grown up when he was like, check this out. And he had some of the heavy metal magazines and I was like, holy shit, this is sick. Let's see. Age of Ralph. Yes. Ralph Bashki. Sonic X was made as an anime, no matter how much 4Kids diluted it to look like it is not. You really think that counts as an anime? I mean, I guess, but who knows? They have Eggman, his own bootleg. Okay, I mean, I guess that's fair. I'm not going to be able to argue. I didn't see that. By the way, tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time on Fandom Night Channel, the Knights will have a Let's Play of Mortal Kombat 2 SNES. Yes, we will. Here's what's going on. You guys already know the reason I'm doing this right now is because I'm at work tomorrow. I'm at work tomorrow. Nick is forced on call tomorrow, and Shane is taking his wife to Chicago tomorrow, which leaves only Seth. But recently we just edited 3 videos that are ready to go up. We have the Mortal Kombat video that has to go up. And then we have 2 more Comic Toss videos. One on X-Men, one on animated crossovers. And so those will be going up also. One of those will go up sometime in the week. And then the Mortal Kombat SNES will go up tomorrow at our usual block time. It will go up as a premiere. And if I'm able to, I will say a thing or two in there. But I probably won't be able to. I'll probably be pretty busy. But yeah. Yeah, that is going up tomorrow. By the time I got to middle school, everyone liked anime. As for elementary school, no one cared. But God forbid I mention Power Rangers with everyone else. Now, Power Rangers was something that when I was growing up, you could get bullied for that. Because I was already old enough for it kind of to be questionable. Like I was right at the point where it was fine. Like everybody was watching it. It was around like 4th grade. And then it was almost immediately into 5th grade. All of a sudden, we were way more mature. And it was already a problem. Like, just by 5th grade, it was already like, dude, Power Rangers? Really? Yeah, that was something you could probably get beat up for. I remember telling other kids about Power Rangers. They made fun of me because it was 4 kids. We were all 7. Dude, I know. We were all 7. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. I kind of want to pick up the new Berserk Blu-ray set. I considered it myself. I have it on DVD. But I also said the same thing. Nobody knew that Power Rangers existed before SPD in my school. My parents only knew Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Jungle Fury. It just vanished. I don't mind missing a video tomorrow. I got a horror movie premiere to attend. Awesome. Go watch it. I wanted to ask if you could... Okay. I wanted to ask if you could own a screen-worn super suit. What would it be? Super suit. Like a costume of sorts? Look, if you're asking a Power Rangers question, it's simple. It's the Gold Ranger or King Ranger or whatever you want to call him. That's it. It's the only one. It's the only one I would ever want to own over like that. If you're talking about like screen cinema superheroes, that's way more difficult. Like I don't even have an answer. That's way more difficult. Like, I literally do not have an answer. Okay, we have come to the end because we ended up doing an awful lot of talking. Not that was a bad thing. We had more than enough that we talked about and went over and whatnot. I will, however, say I did pull the trigger on Beachhead. I came across an extra 300, and I also picked up a little overtime. So the $25 Beachhead was not going to hurt me, so I ordered Beachhead. I am debating doing the same thing with what's her name? Jinx. Jinx? Yeah. Jinx, Red Ninja. I'm thinking about putting her because I don't want to miss out on her, in all honesty. And yeah. And I'm going to click on this YouTube mark because that is unbelievable to me that he found that. That he found that is just unbelievable to me. I think Jake means a superhero suit scene. Yeah, that's very, very hard. Iron Man armor. That's fair. Disco Trek is pretty good at doing restoration on shows and movies. I love doing this chat with you all. I will see you next time. Absolutely. Yes, I would like to own the Michael Keaton Batsuit. You'd get a pair of Nikes with it. Same thing. Yes, absolutely. Yes, guys, I am going to get out of here. I can't push it for too late tonight. I'm probably going to be up till maybe around 10:30 or something like that. But thanks for hanging out, and I will continue to try to do these every Friday.